Okay, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to break down a super powerful tool from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. It's all about how we can start to manage and even change that critical voice inside our heads. I know it's a pretty direct question, right? But it really gets to the heart of it. It's that feeling when your internal world, the way you talk to yourself, just kind of takes a nosedive. So this is what's often called depression thinking. Now, this isn't just about feeling sad when something bad happens. That's normal. This is different. It's an automatic, exaggerated, and honestly pretty unhelpful way of talking to ourselves that puts this gloomy, gray lens over absolutely everything. Let's look at a few common examples. Does that one sound familiar? It just feels so final, doesn't it? I can't cope. It's like a full stop on your own resilience. There's no wiggle room. Just this blanket statement of defeat that kind of shuts down any possibility of finding a way through. Oh, and then there's this one. It's all my fault. This is the voice of pure self-blame. It's such a heavy weight to carry, right? You automatically just take on all the blame for things that a lot of the time are completely out of your control. And here we are again with that sense of hopelessness. Just listen to that word, never. It's so absolute. It's like you're predicting the future, and in that future, there's just no room for any joy. This kind of black and white thinking is a real hallmark of this style. This thought is just incredibly isolating. You could be in a room full of people who care about you, but this voice just insists that you're totally alone. It has this tricky way of making you ignore any proof to the contrary, locking you into this really painful feeling. And this one, I'm broken. Wow, this is maybe the most damaging of all because it's the conclusion the other thoughts lead to. I mean, if you think you can't cope and it's all your faults and you'll never be happy, well, the logical endpoint is that something is fundamentally wrong with you. And when these thoughts go unchallenged, they really start to feel like the absolute truth. But, and this is a huge but, here's the turning point. The most important thing to get is that you don't have to just accept these thoughts as facts. You can challenge them. You can push back. So let's just pause right here and really ask this question. Is it actually 100% true that you can't cope or that you will never be happy? Is that a rational statement, or is it maybe just a little bit distorted, a little exaggerated? Okay, now this is such a brilliant way to shift your perspective. Seriously, think about it. If your best friend came to you and said, "I'm broken," or "It's all my fault," what would you do? You wouldn't just nod and agree, right? Of course not. You'd jump in with compassion, you'd offer a different perspective. This question helps you create a little space so you can offer that same kindness to yourself. And that brings us to the key technique, the reframe. Now, this isn't about pretending problems don't exist or toxic positivity. It's about consciously choosing a more accurate, a more helpful, and a much more compassionate way to talk to yourself about what's going on. So let's see how this actually works. We're going to look at some side-by-side, before and after examples of how you can turn that harsh inner critic into more of a supportive inner coach. See the difference? It's huge. The reframe still acknowledges the struggle. I find it challenging, which is totally valid, but it completely rejects that dead end of "I can't" and swaps it for the possibility of growth. I can learn. It opens a door. And look at what's happening here. The original thought just assumes there's this one rigid definition of success and you're failing. The reframe, it takes all that power back. It reminds you that, hey, you get to define what success means, and you can work towards goals that actually matter to you. This one is all about self-compassion. Instead of just hitting yourself with this brutal one-word label, the reframe gives you a much more balanced and, frankly, more truthful view. It accepts that nobody's perfect. We all have strengths. We all have things we can work on. And most importantly, it separates what we do from who we are. Our worth isn't on the line. Now, it's so important to get this. This isn't some magic trick. It's a skill. You know, just like learning to play the guitar or going to the gym, reframing your thoughts takes real conscious practice. You're building a mental muscle, literally creating new, more helpful pathways in your brain. So here's the game plan, a simple 4-step method you can start using today. First, you have to catch the thought as it happens. Second, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this really 100% true? Third, correct it with a more balanced, compassionate reframe like the ones we just saw. And finally, and this is the key to making it stick, practice by actually writing it down. It really helps lock in that new pathway. You know, at the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. The language you use with yourself, it matters a lot. By consciously choosing to think differently, you really can become your own best friend, your own biggest supporter, and that is proven to change how you feel. So let's end with this powerful idea. This isn't just some feel-good quote. It's the entire foundation of this practice. Believing this and using the tools we've talked about to challenge the thoughts that tell you otherwise is one of the most profound things you can do for yourself. The real work isn't just knowing it's true, but practicing thinking as if it is.